Batman, on my level, you could be the greatest individual in football history.
We are back with another video, and today we are going to be discussing our player of the year for 2021. As the year comes to an end, we've had some solid performances, obviously some crap performances as well for the most part, let's be honest. But some players did stand out. Saeed, are there any names that you want to mention before you get to your main guy?
Ronaldo, obviously, you know what I mean. He's come in, revelation, scored goals, vital goals, Champions League, Premier League. You know, has been a kind of a pivotal part of our season. You know, he scored goals for, you know what I mean, in crucial goals, the winners in certain games. So for me, Ronaldo has to be up there. I think another one for me would be David De Gea. Unbelievable. Where would we with the season without David De Gea? You know what I mean? Let's be real. Has been a key kind of part in what we're trying to do. I think that's one is a must, and also, you know, we would have to include kind of Bruno Fernandes' early form. You know, I think Pogba's early form as well. But if I'm being honest with you, the main kind of outstanding one for me, my player this season, has to be David De Gea so far. I think he's been unbelievable. Kept us in games where we never looked like we're going to be. You know, kept scoreline down when it should have been more. You know, he's just been instrumental in our season, and I think for me, it's been one of the best keepers in the Premier League. You know, what I mean, if not in the world. You know, when you look at the form that he's in, I think David De Gea for me is clear of even Ronaldo for me, because at the end of the day, the season hasn't been great. Obviously, we've got Ralph Ragnick in charge, but De Gea has just been outstanding in it. You know what I mean? And that just tells you a lot of how this team has been underperforming. You look at the game, it's Norwich, unbelievable, kept us in it. You know what I mean? He's the reason why we got a 1-0. So I think for me, it's been a crazy kind of feeling. But you know what? We're here, and David De Gea is that player.
See, I'm in a similar boat to you. Honorable mention to Ronaldo. Like, no one expected Ronaldo to be scoring at the rate that he is right now. In it, 13 goals in 16 starts, 5th top scorer in the Champions League, 15 goal contributions in total. Been a ridiculous start to his United return again. I think, remember Paul Pogba, if we're talking about 2021, Paul Pogba at the start of the year was unbelievable when we were playing him on the left. Obviously got important goals versus Burnley, Fulham, AC Milan. The Tottenham performance was solid when we were close to the top of the table and stuff, when we were challenging at the start of the calendar year. So that's an honourable mention to Paul Pogba. I think obviously Bruno Fernandes, even though people can criticize Bruno Fernandes all you want right now, he still has the most assists in the Champions League, created the most big chances in the Champions League. Even last year, he had the 9th most goal contributions in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Exactly. 9 goal contributions in the Europa League, which is the 3rd most.
Yep. Exactly. So, you know, for me, it's, you know what it is? It just depends on how the season kind of forms out. But I think right now, he's clear for me in terms of David De Gea is clear of the rest. I think the rest have had purple patches, and that's what I think Paul Pogba's had a purple patch. He had a great season, and then he's had injuries, and then he's obviously had a suspension that hasn't helped. Bruno Fernandes started the season on fire. You know, he's only scored, I think, an Arsenal game. That was his kind of last goal since when, you know what I mean? And then obviously Ronaldo has been here and there in games, but hasn't been there consistently enough. You know, looking at games where Man City, Liverpool, Watford, he's blanked in them kind of games. Obviously, he had goals disallowed, but, you know, these kind of games where he's blank. So, you know, David De Gea has been kind of, for me, the consistent performer. You know, let's be real. He's been the consistent performer in every single game. So that's why, you know, for me, I got to put him clear.
You know what's mad? Like, I wouldn't even say he's performed for every single game. Like, I feel like our players are not on the level of City's and the Liverpools that they're being consistent for. Right? Like, at the start of the year, I feel like there was a period where obviously David De Gea got dropped in it.
Yeah.
At the start of 21 for Dean Henderson and stuff. So
that was it's crazy, isn't it?
Sticky period. But overall, David De Gea is still probably being the most reliable performer. Like, even this season. For post-shot XG minus goals conceded, he's second best in the league, behind Jose Sarr. So far this season, 2 out of 3 penalties saved as well in the league, which is very, very impressive. And even last season, in 2021, that performance against Roma in the second leg, was unbelievable when he made 10 saves. Because remember that day, even though we were comfy in the first leg when we won 6-2, that second leg, we did not play well at all. And it was David De Gea that kind of carried us that day.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I mean? I think, you know, it is, yeah, it's just for me, he's just been kind of like, it shows you how like crazy when you look at David De Gea, where he's been, you know, start of 2021 until now. You know what I mean? It's a remarkable, isn't it? But again, it's been David De Gea for about the last 3 years where he's been in enough form, but now he's back to his full best. You know what I mean? And now he's just shown that, you know, he's clear. Even when Romero was here, people were saying Romero should be number one. You know what I mean? And he should be starting number one. So, but for me, David De Gea, I think he's just, for me, I think he's the best keeper in the world, you know, right now on form. And
In the world?
Yeah, I think still, man, I think on form, who's a better keeper than David De Gea? You know, when you look at the amount of saves he's saying, you know, the amount of, you know, kind of reflexes having to do. People will say Mendy, but listen, people have their preferences, but I think David De Gea.
That he shows the agenda again.
Listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I think Edison, for me, is one of the best keepers in the world. But I think David De Gea, for what a keeper should be, I think he is the best keeper in the world, David De Gea. For what a keeper should be, you know, saving saves. You know, you could talk about playing out from the back and all that. I think Edison's clear. You know what I mean? But in terms of kind of being the best keeper in the league, and in terms of what he does, and him overall as a, you know, his attributes as a keeper, I think it's David De Gea. You know what I mean?
I think that's a massive claim. You know, I still think there's people like Thibaut Courtois that have had remarkable years recently. So I think that's a very, very, very big claim. Best keeper in the year, best keeper in the world right now. Even Edouard Mendy for me still, I think, has had a better 2021 than David De Gea kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's had it in Champions League. Would you say Premier League when they've had a poor Premier League run?
What, Chelsea?
Yeah, towards the last end of the season.
I think towards like the last, like obviously he made a mistake against West Ham and stuff, but I think overall, especially at the start of the season, the games against Aston Villa, Brentford, he saved Chelsea massively.
Yeah.
And in Champions League last year, he got goalkeeper of the year. He should have been nominated for the Ballon d'Or as well. In top 30.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I just think for me, David De Gea has been clear. I really do. I just think he's goalkeeping wise, he's been clear in every department. I think, you know, probably you would argue, you know, Mendy has made, you know, Chelsea better, you know, in terms of, you know, looking at as in a person who commands the box better. But then again, David De Gea, if you want as a keeper, I think David De Gea, for me, edges it over Mendy as a keeper. You know, I think you look at Chelsea defense, it helps Mendy. There's a lot of clean sheets in there. So it just depends how you judge a keeper. You know what I mean?
Fair. But we both agree that David De Gea has been our player of the year for 2021. Make sure you guys comment your player of the year down below. Like the video, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we will be back soon.